In 1 month, I memorized all 197 countries on Earth using 3 simple tactics. On average, I practiced for 10 minutes a day. It started out because it was fun, but then I realized it provided context for world events. And now I realize that it was building my cognitive reserve. So what is cognitive reserve? Are there better activities for cognitive development? And what are the 3 simple tricks I used to enhance learning efficiency? Well, let's get into it. It started out as a friendly competition to see who knew more European countries. I lost by only identifying 19 of the 44. And then it made me curious the next day how many I'd remembered. 25. And so began the fun of quizzing myself daily to see how many European countries I knew. And then South American, and North American, and African, Asian, Oceanic, until I knew every country on Earth. But what I realized along the way was geography was providing context to world events and everyday life that I hadn't expected. When I heard that El Salvador adopted Bitcoin, I had a better idea of their country's size, location, and culture. When I watched a nature documentary highlighting hippos in Gabon, I had a better understanding of its climate and landscape. Learning what I once considered a waste of time in geography is now enriching my understanding of the world. But most importantly, I was building my cognitive reserve. According to a review in 2019 for preventing Alzheimer's, the most important factor of all for brain health and resilience as we age appears to be cognitive reserve. This is the stockpile of neural connections in the brain that helps slow cognitive decline as we age. And the larger that stockpile, the less risk for cognitive impairment, dementia, and Alzheimer's. It's like saving a large nest egg before retirement so you don't go broke, or developing ample muscle mass so you don't become frail with age. And this can be achieved through cognitively challenging activities. We know that complex real-life activities around one's passion and purpose, such as challenging jobs, learning musical instruments, and speaking multiple languages, are most effective in optimizing mental processes and building cognitive reserve and brain capacity. And while memorization practice, like studying all the countries, isn't the most effective strategy, it does help build our cognitive reserve. So what are the 3 tactics I use to accelerate this process for building cognitive reserve? As I practiced day after day, I started to realize strategies that were becoming more effective. It would allow me to learn more countries per day in less time. And I was retaining that information for longer. I then came across a study called How to Learn Effectively in Medical School. My experience in this study yielded 3 key findings. 1. Frequent quizzing. It's better than taking notes, rereading material, or traditional studying. Quizzing yourself provides immediate feedback that enhances learning. In my case, the thing I did to learn all 197 countries was just Sporkle quizzes. That's it. 2. Active recall. So passive recall is when the information is already provided to you. So it could be like studying notes that have already been written down, or even certain types of quizzes like multiple choice, where the information is already presented to you. What's more effective than this passive recall is active recall, where you have to generate the information yourself. In my case, the Sporkle quiz started out with an empty map. There was no information there. I had to generate the country names myself and then type them out. And 3, spaced repetitions. It's most effective to actively recall this information in spaced out repetitions. When I was learning 3 new countries, I'd actively recall that information 30 seconds after I learned it. And then I'd wait 5 minutes and try to actively recall it again. And then an hour later, and then again before bed. I didn't redo the entire Sporkle quiz each time, I just tried to actively recall those 3 countries that I was learning on that particular day. And these 3 strategies allowed me to learn 197 countries in about a month. And the study around this concluded that whenever students learn factual knowledge, they should test themselves while learning, actively recall information, and retest the facts at expanding time intervals to make learning most effective. These learning strategies help students learn the most in the least amount of time. So here are my final thoughts. What started out as fun turned into something useful in day-to-day life. I then realized that I was building my cognitive reserve and improving my cognitive health. Finally, along the way, I discovered 3 simple strategies for effective learning: quizzing yourself, active recall, and spaced repetitions. Now I'm excited to apply these lessons on a whole new topic. So what should I study next? Are they even countries? I thought there was 195 according to the United Nations. Have I studied them? It's gonna bother me. This is gonna bother me. Alright, so I guess I only know 195 countries. Jamaica and Malaysia? Oh my gosh! If I could have zoomed in, I would have seen Jamaica and I would have seen Malaysia. Come on! I know both of those countries. I know all 197. The map is too small. I'm telling you, the map is too small. Jeez, that's disappointing. Sorry to keep you guys waiting for only 195 out of 197, but thanks for stopping by, and I look forward to seeing you guys next week.